8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Good morning, Relentless Pursuit of Shade followers. This is Susan coming to you from my sunroom this morning. I am unable to run due to an injury, so I'll be riding my stationary bike this morning. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about injuries because they are inevitable when you run. I've been running for 20 years and had injuries off and on, nothing too bad. The worst one was a sacral fracture that kept me out for 12 weeks, and I learned to love aqua jogging during that time. Right now I have a groin pull on my right groin. I believe it's from overuse. I did run 100 consecutive days of at least a 5K a day, so I think my body just finally said I'm done, because on day 101, literally, I went out. I was feeling a little bit of a pull there. As typical runners do, I said, oh, it'll work itself out, everything will be fine. At mile 2.5, my body told my mind, nope, we are done. So I gave it a few days rest. I did the whole rest, ice, compression, elevation. And my motto with injuries has always been, give it 3 days and then try again. Because, you know, if it's not going to be well in 3 days, then something bad's wrong. Gave it my 3 days, went out for a little run, and yep, it's still there. So that's when I knew it was pretty bad. So I began acupuncture and massage to kind of keep the blood flowing to it to help it along and getting well. And then I went to a chiropractor because I felt for a long time that I've had an imbalance. And it has proven out through his x-rays that my left hip is higher than my right hip. It's causing back spasms back here, and my muscles are contracting, and that's making these muscles here do the brunt of the work. Thus I'm injured. So it's important when you have an injury to you isolate what's hurting, but then you decide, well, is that's really where the problem's coming from? Because otherwise it's going to happen again. So you use the time that you have now that you can't be out pounding the pavement to research and figure out what's going on with your body. And it also reminds you that stretching is very important and listening to your body. If I would have listened to my body that morning when it was telling me I'm tired, I'm not really feeling this, and just went back home, I might have been able to avoid this. Who knows? But it's important to listen to your body. So we talked about the rice method, but now in all this and all the time I've had to think, I've come up with the pain method for dealing with these injuries. So pain is P for panic, because I always panic when I'm injured. I feel like I'm never going to run again, and why did I do this to myself, or why is my body betraying me? Well, actually it's probably that I've betrayed my body by overusing it. So then we go to the A in pain, and that's acceptance. Okay, I have this injury. It's not the end of the world. Maybe now I use that time to organize my house, clean my house, things that I would have been just, oh, that'll wait because now I have to go for a run. And once you accept that you're injured and you got to deal with this, you go to the I in pain, which is initiate a plan. So my plan was acupuncture, massage, seek professional help, see what's really going on with the body, and see if we can't fix it. And now I'm in that plan phase, and I'm about 2 weeks into the injury. But when I started this injury, just doing this little movement right here was excruciating. And now I've got the range of motion up to here because I've been working with professionals and really getting the blood flow in there to get this going. So I do want to give it 2 more weeks. I want it fully healed before I start running again. So I'm going to be relegating myself to this lovely stationary bike. I can go to the gym still and do all my upper body stuff too. So finally, the N in pain is for never give up. We went from the panic phase of I'm never going to run again. So now I'm in the N phase where I'm not going to give up. I'm going to do what I have to get this thing well so that I can run again, and try to remember to do my stretches and to listen to my body in the future. So I'll be back out on the roads with you guys again in a couple weeks. In the meantime, I will be riding this lovely stationary bike and watching my 80s music channel, which conveniently has the words up there for me so that I can sing along with them. See you later, guys.